Hi, I'm Andrei Mincov, the founder of Trademark Factory, and today's episode of Kick-Ass Brand Show features none other than Lisa Sasevich, the queen of sales conversion, the author of The Invisible Close, and the Live Sassy Formula. And by the way, all of these are great brands. Lisa teaches experts who are making a difference how to get their message out and enjoy massive results without being salesy. She delivers high-impact sales closing strategies for turbocharging entrepreneurs and small business owners to great profits. I was honored to speak from the stage at Lisa's recent event and to learn from her for 3 days. It was absolutely phenomenal. I actually had my 11-year-old daughter Masha with me, and it was amazing to see her soak in all that wisdom from my today's guest. In this episode, Lisa shares what makes a great offer and gives a blueprint for crafting an irresistible offer that converts. A well-converting offer can really be the difference between having a struggling and a thriving business. So it's definitely something you don't want to miss. We also talked about what makes a brand kick ass. So turn off your notifications, listen in, it's going to be great. So Lisa, it's an absolute privilege, honor, and pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. And ever since I saw you in action at your event in Vegas a few months ago, I was like, that's the person I really want to have on my Kick-Ass Brand Show. So thank you so much for agreeing to do this. It's going to be a lot of fun.
My pleasure. Thank you for introducing me to your tribe. I don't take it lightly. I know they, came here to learn from your expertise. And if I can add today, then my day was well spent.
Yeah, I'm sure they're in for an amazing treat. So thank you. Yeah, and to those of you who don't know Lisa, Lisa is absolutely amazing at helping you turn your wisdom into a product that will help you bring more people in, help more people with what you can share with them, and make more money in the process. Is that a decent summary of what you do?
I think it's the first part of it is, taking your knowledge and turning it, whether it's training, coaching, service, being able to use your expertise or your knowledge to help more people. But I would say probably on top of that, the thing we're most known for is, because some people already have that, is how do you get out there and make your offer irresistible?
Yeah.
The idea being that if you have a truly irresistible offer, then you don't really need to learn how to sell. An irresistible offer will invite pursuit. Yeah. And most of our clients are very mission driven. They're not into like following up to ad nauseum. They want to hit the right markers so that their ideal client can say yes right on the spot. And that's what we teach.
Yeah, and you're absolutely amazing at what you do. The 3 days that we spent at your event. So how did you get into this? How did you discover your ability to train people and to teach them all this?
Well, I appreciate the question. I want to say, in case anybody doesn't know what you meant by the 3 days, it was really an honor to have you out at our 3-day training event. We do these twice a year, and we got to have Andrei with us and his beautiful daughter, Masha, which I'm sure if you keep attending his show, you'll meet at some point because she's extraordinary.
Thank you.
And and our tribe was really, really excited to meet you and your work and the Trademark Factory because it is such an important part of every business. And to answer your question, I came out of college, I graduated in marketing, I worked for a lot of different corporations, Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, Hewlett Packard, big companies, doing, field sales, and I was really good at it. And, I used to win sales awards and all that. And selling for other people kind of was, they showed me what to do, and I did it. And, I think it was also in my Jewish genes. I was just kind of good at it. And I don't know, it seemed a little bit factory installed. But I will tell you, when it was time, when I realized I didn't want to live a double life, I didn't want to, do like a 9-to-5 job to make money, and then other things that I was passionate about on nights and weekends. And what I was really passionate about was helping, personal development, helping people grow, growing myself. And So I took the leap to go out there and try to share what I had learned as a top salesperson, share the personal development lessons that I had learned in life and in business. And I went out there to make my own offer, not for another company, but for my work.
Mhm.
I it was like I lost all my skills. And I heard this from so many other people too. It's like selling your own services, your own coaching, your own advice, anything of your own. It's like a whole different ball game. It feels very personal. Like if somebody says yes or no, it's like it's an acceptance or rejection of you.
Yeah.
And so it's no wonder that, that sales is like this, ugly 5-letter word for a lot of people. And I just thought, how can I transform that? How can I transform that for myself? And how can I transform it for all the people out there that have something really amazing that they want to, get out in the world and they want to make a living doing it? So I just became committed to figuring that out for myself. How can I make a difference and make money doing it so I
Mhm.
don't have a double life? And I did. I cracked the code. And since 2009, we've been teaching entrepreneurs, experts, service professionals all over the world. We have clients in 134 countries now, how to do exactly that, how to sell their own services, coaching, products, training, advice without that feeling of being pushy or salesy. So it was really from my own struggle
Yeah.
of, the shock of trying to sell my own services.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's also about listening to all those entrepreneurs trying to do their pitches and being so boring and bland and how you call it, a bundle of fluff.
Yeah, well, there's things that people do trying to put together what we call an irresistible offer. And the bundle of fluff thing, a lot of times people try to make their offer irresistible. And some of the elements that come with making an offer irresistible are things like adding bonuses. And it's funny when people will take it into their own hands. Sometimes, instead of something meaningful to the client or that is, they would pay for it anyway. It's so good. Like they would thank you for it.
Yeah.
We see a bundle of fluff. So we're not interested in making your offer into a bundle of fluff. We want a high impact, highly relevant, right fit kinds of bonuses. And I know we're going to talk about this a little later, but stay tuned, you guys, because I actually have a whole blueprint on how you can look at what you offer and make it irresistible that Andrei and I are going to give to you as a gift today before we finish up. So stay tuned on the irresistible offer part.
I wish I had known about you back then when I was starting out, because it would have saved me many years of banging my head against the wall and trying to figure it out on my own. And this makes so much sense. Yeah, it's so clear. I wish back then when I was starting out, I could just pay someone to have this whole thing crafted for me. Yeah, because all the knowledge is there, all the wisdom is there, all your skills are there. The only thing that's not there is a lineup of people who want to get it from you, right?
Right.
How do you convert your wisdom and your skills into the lineup of people who want it? And that's exactly what an irresistible offer does, right?
Totally. And the marriage between what you offer at the Trademark Factory and the work that we do with people is so strong. And I'd love to talk about that for a minute because, I think it's really relevant here, if that's okay with you.
Of course.
Yeah. One of the things so I'm known as the queen of sales conversion because my piece of the puzzle is to help you sell more to the people you're already talking to,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, if you talk to 10 people this month and you make 3 sales, that's 30% conversion. But, and let's say they're $1,000 sales, you made $3,000. But if you can use some of our strategies, make your offer more irresistible. And another thing I want to talk about now that really ties our work together, and you could increase your conversion from, from 3 to 6 out of 10 people saying yes. Then, that's, you still talk to 10 people, right? You got dressed, you did your hair, you brushed your teeth, everything took you the same amount of time.
Yeah.
You made your 10 presentations or you spoke to 10 people in a group, but to come away with 6 clients and $6,000 instead of 3 clients and $3,000. That's double the difference you get to make, double the money. And I think it's one of the most costly things that the mistake is to not pay attention to conversion, just to keep being out there looking for new eyeballs. And so when we get in there and we're able to really work on what would it take to increase, the yeses that you're getting? It's a game changer for every business that we work with. And one of the other things that we teach and that we recommend is, in order to sell more, especially with our clients who are mostly selling intangibles, we are the system for those of you there that are selling intangibles. So again, coaching, training, your expertise. Even, they're coming into your chiropractic office, but it's an intangible, it's a service. They don't buy a box, they buy a service. So all those things, you're a lawyer, like that's all intangibles, right? So the service professions. So one of the challenges with selling a service is that we have to attempt to make that intangible feel tangible, right? And so how do we make that intangible? Let's say you've been a mortgage broker for 25 years, and now you want to take that expertise of how you've had consistent client base, and you want to teach other mortgage brokers how they can, make six figures as a mortgage broker, right, with their own thing. If you're going to package that expertise and sell it, you're selling training. It's an intangible.
Yeah.
And all of you are sitting on something. Like maybe you saved a 50-year marriage and found romance again. Maybe you lost 100 pounds and kept it off. Maybe you got a client who was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and she figured out, she's not a doctor, but she figured out how to be MS symptom free and has been for 27 years. She's teaching other people how to do that now. So that is a training. That is intangible. So where we start, because to sell that intangible, if you can make it tangible in the client's mind, your conversion's going to go up, and that's my jam. So how we make that intangible feel tangible is we support you in seeing the system that you use to get the results. And if you can identify what we call your unique branded system. It's unique because it's the steps you take, it's the questions you ask, right? It's the process, it's the method behind your madness.
Yeah.
It's how you get the results you get. So if we can support you in seeing your unique, then we call it branded because, and this is relevant to your show, for us, branding is really like you named it. You named your system.
Yeah.
You named the baby, right? And we've heard some of the greats, in marketing talk about the one who names the game owns the game. This is where we start getting into the crossover of what we do. So we help people see their system. How do you help people, lose 100 pounds and keep it off? There's a system to that. There's steps you take. There's advice you have in order. And when we have a unique system, we brand it with a name, a unique branded system. UBS is our acronym for that. When you have a UBS, a unique branded system, what you just did from a sales conversion perspective is you made your intangible into a tangible. And now when you plug that into any of the sales structures that we teach, you can just pour that system into our sales structures, and we show you how to hit the markers when you're presenting that system so that another person can say, yes, that's what I need. And they purchase it the same way they would purchase a box of goods, from the hardware store or the makeup counter. They can feel the weight of what they're getting.
Well, because nobody needs to learn. People need results. And do you see the results by being presented with a system, right?
Right.
Something that takes you from point A to point B.
The system that you can trust, right? That it's not just that Andrei's going to wake up feeling good today, so I'm going to get results. He's got a system to get me from my idea to an actual trademark that I own. And so what we found in a beautiful marriage with having Andrei out, at our events and presenting and sponsoring to our clients is they got it. They got it probably more than most audiences because we've been working with them on making their intangible tangible. They have a system, and by the time you came in, they were like, oh, this is the thing that I need to own. So in my case, as example, we are the brand holders of Speak to Sell. Speak to Sell. We own that trademark for the training, Speak to Sell, and in other forms. So it's become kind of an industry term, Speak to Sell. People will use it like Kleenex and tissue, right? Like Kleenex is the brand, tissue is the category. Well, people will say, are you doing a keynote speech or a Speak to Sell talk, right? A keynote being where they pay you to do the talk, a Speak to Sell talk where you come and contribute, but you make an offer before you, an irresistible offer, and you make your money on the back end by getting new clients. So you'll hear it in the industry. Is this a keynote or a speak to sell? But technically, every time someone's using that word in their copy, in their brochures, it's our trademark.
Yeah.
And that has given us a lot of power. We've done over $40 million of sales from this home-based business. We've been acknowledged by the Inc. 500, as one of the fastest growing privately held companies in the United States 2 years in a row. And I know that a lot of it is, that when you name the game, and I'll add that you trademark the game, you own the game.
So I have a question for you. So if I'm making an offer, the way I see it, it has three components to it. One is the offer itself, what it is that I'm offering. Two is the words that I express my offer in. That's the copy.
Yeah.
And three is my ability to say or present those words, right? So the presentation skills. So in your experience, how would you rank the importance of these three factors to having a killer offer?
Well, it's I couldn't rank them 1, 2, 3, but I could tell you that there's a big concept that, if I could toss one thing over for entrepreneurial success to anybody wanting to grab that today at the next level from where you are, is that it's the concept of reverse engineering. Mm-hmm. And another way to say reverse engineering is building it with the end in mind. So the three things you mentioned, they actually go together to form a whole, a whole talk, a whole speak to sell talk. So we've got, the presentation itself. But the presentation itself, really, we can't even start on it until we have the first thing you mentioned, which is we know the offer. Yeah. We know where it's going. The end in mind, in this case, is the offer you're going to make. Mm-hmm. So once we know the offer we're going to make, then we want to make sure about the second thing you said, which is that we have the right words to say what we do. We want the words to ring so clearly in our ideal client's ears that it will be like we're blowing a perfectly pitched dog whistle, and that like in the certain dog breed, they could hear it. And that's your ideal client, right? And so when you get the right words, when you know your offer, you know where you're headed, what's the transformation I provide, what's the outcome my clients get, and what's the format, how will I provide that? And then the words you would say to get your ideal client's attention, then we're just getting started to where we could build the third thing you mentioned, which is a presentation that leads to it. Mm-hmm. And, that's why when I first meet people, like probably many of you today, as a gift, I like to offer you, a core blueprint that I have that helps you with the first thing. Because if we don't have the end in mind, right, then all the rest of it, putting together a presentation and then slapping on an offer, it doesn't work. People think you're pushy, you're salesy, you don't really care about them. But if you know your offer, which is why we start you out with the irresistible offer blueprint, if you know the offer, then you're starting to get in the ballpark where it's like, okay, we know where we're going. Now I'd like to learn more from you, Lisa, about how to build a presentation that leads to that offer. Yeah. So they go hand in glove, the pieces that you said. Mm. Yeah.
Nice. I really can't wait for you to share that with the audience.
Sure.
And so
I can tell you,
sure, let's go into it.
Well, we have something special. We want to make sure that we know who's coming from you, because we know that you have got a client here that gets it about really needing to own their own work, right? So I've put together something special. You would go to lisasasevich.com/kickass. That's in your honor. lisasasevich.com/kickass. There's no hyphen. It's all one word. Yep. And what that's going to give you is it'll give you our irresistible offer blueprint. It's like a fill in the blanks blueprint that'll ask you about your offer and show you the different elements that you need to pull together to inspire people to make that on the spot decision. And keep your eyes peeled, because with that, you'll get some emails from us walking you through it, and there'll be an opportunity for you to watch a master class. It's a training webinar format that goes with the blueprint, so you can hear my voice like you hear it now, walking you through the steps and really giving you examples. So based on the kind of offer you want to make. Some of you, your offer is direct to a sale, right? People are going to buy 90 days of coaching with you or come to your, financial planning workshop. Mm-hmm. Others of you, the offer you're going to make is you want to get people into your office or practice or maybe onto a free consult on the phone. And so we call that offer a qualified free session offer. And so you'll see advice about both of those in the Irresistible Offer Blueprint. And again, it's Lisa Sasevich. There's no T in that. It's Lisa, Lisa, Sasevich, SASEV as in Victor, ICH.com/kick-ass.
Kick-ass. And
So that's the starting point. And I'll also say that if this idea of raising your sales conversion appeals to you, clearly, you like to learn through this kind of medium. If you haven't found me on iTunes yet, you'll love our podcast. So you can go to iTunes and search my name, or Boost Your Sales and Lifestyle is the name of the podcast. And if you subscribe every week when I have a new episode, you'll get to hear more about making your offer, making presentations to lead to your offer, and many other things that affect your sales conversion and your lifestyle. We're a lifestyle, mission-based business.
And look, I rarely endorse other people's products on this show, but to anyone who is seriously considering increasing their conversions, getting better at sales, I can guarantee that going through your process, you're definitely going to pick up something that will make you go, I didn't think of that. We should implement this. And it's the process that makes it so brilliant. So I encourage anyone who's listening to this to go through it and get the most out of it.
Thank you. Yeah, well, right back at you. We had a lot of people thanking us for having you on site. And, for any of you that find your way to one of our events in the coming year, I mean, this is the quality of people that you meet, experts like Andrei, and there's a lot of networking, a lot of people booking each other. I mean, look, even you and I, 70 or 80% of our audience, they meet someone and they get booked on a podcast, or they book people for their own. So the Speak to Sell Bootcamp is the next live event. And hopefully we're going to see Andrei there with us as well.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
And Masha. I don't think you're not allowed to come without Masha.
No. She's a closer.
She's the closer. That's right. You're the spiker. You're the setter. She's the spiker.
And look, before I let you go, I got one last question. And I know you got to take your daughter to her recital. So because we're a kick-ass brand show, my question is, in your opinion, what do you think makes a brand kick-ass?
Oh, great question. I think that the most kick-ass brands, there's different elements, but I really, when the transformation is in the name of the brand, like I know what they do by the brand, for me, that is just serving so many masters, in the sorting and all the noise. I don't want to have to look up or, read 5 more paragraphs to figure out what you do. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're coming to speak to sell, you know what you're going to do there, right? You're going to learn to speak and sell, to, open your mouth and make an offer. So I love brands like that personally. And those are the kind we like to assist in building.
Yeah, and just a note of caution, you want to be careful not to cross the line into descriptiveness, because a trademark or a name that simply describes the function or result or characteristic of your services would not be trademarkable. So for example, effective sales techniques would not be trademarkable. So I have to be very careful there.
Yeah, we have the 5-step Speak to Sell formula that gets taught at the live boot camp, the virtual boot camp, VIP days with me, all that good stuff. So thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it. And it's really great to meet everybody here. And I hope to see you either over on iTunes or see you enjoying the Irresistible Offer Blueprint. Make sure to use that /kickass, lisasasevich.com/kickass, so we can include the masterclass for you as a gift. And I look forward to seeing you at our next event, Andrei.
Lisa, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for the invitation to be at your event. Thank you for the blueprint that you shared with my audience. I look forward to staying in touch with you and doing a lot more kick-ass things with you.
All right. I'm game on.
All right.
Yes. All right. Take care.
Thanks a lot.
Bye, everybody.
Now, did you download the Irresistible Offer Blueprint that Lisa mentioned? If you didn't, do it now. Seriously, she's not charging you for it, but it's super valuable. You can get it from lisasasevich.com /kickass as one word. lisasasevich.com/kickass. So go there now. And besides that, what did you learn from this episode? What are you going to implement in your business as a result of what you've learned from this interview? Lisa and I would love to hear from you. So leave your comment below and share this interview with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to be the first to receive updates about new episodes. And if you think you deserve to be on the show because you have a kick-ass brand, email me at next@kickassbrandshow.com. next@kickassbrandshow.com. I will see you there.